Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be what an alpha female really wants. Well, I've got a really great, short, sweet email from a woman who described herself as a high-achieving alpha female. And so she writes in talking about this guy that she really liked and was really into at first, and then he started doing everything wrong to talk her out of liking him. So what you're going to get to see is what a very successful alpha female sees from the female perspective as to how the typical guy, in essence, talks her out of liking him. So obviously it validates everything that I teach. And so I got a quote that I wrote on this particular topic, and then we're going to go through her email so you can see what a woman sees and how she perceives a guy, and how that guy's self-perception, typically negative, affects her sexual attraction to him. Even though she likes this guy and she's trying to help him out, it's kind of sailing right over his head. So the quote says, "The average Western male has been so beaten down mentally and emotionally by the time they reach adulthood that they are mostly convinced they have nothing to offer a high-quality woman. When they do encounter the type of woman they dream of, and she has initial mutual romantic interest, it quickly evaporates when they inevitably act, speak, and think like they are unworthy and completely talk women out of liking them. High achievers act and think like they are or are becoming and are deserving of the best that life has to offer, and they take actions that are congruent with this premise and never settle. With enough time and repetition, they become and attract what they aspire to. Your self-talk and your actions determine your reality." So let's see what this guy is actually doing. So she says, "I've watched other videos, not yours, offering advice to men, and they'll crack me up because their advice is terrible, but yours, damn dead on." Well, as I say sometimes, I might not always be right, but I'm never wrong. "I'm a very good-looking woman, and I've always been able to get any guy I want, but I know hot chicks are everywhere, so it's my other qualities, in addition to my looks, that makes me a damn unicorn. I make close to $200,000 a year, a lady in the streets, and a freak in the sheets. And I'm pretty fucking funny if I do say so myself. All of this makes it very tricky for guys to navigate me successfully." Navigate you? I'll bet. "I can sense a lack of confidence a mile away, and even when I do have interest, guys always shit the bed. I started dating a guy that I really wanted to like, and he started dropping the ball with me doing everything you say not to do. I really wanted to like him, but he was making it so hard that I have to be really blunt here. I already have a pussy, so I'm not looking for another one. Because he had some valuable qualities, I decided to help him out a little. Remember, women help you when they like you. And I directed him to your videos." You know, it's like the quote that I shared in my book from Adam Carolla. When a woman likes you, the doors start opening, then all you have to do is walk through them. But if the doors start shutting in your face, you just turn around and walk away, and you find somebody else who wants to open the doors for you. And obviously you can tell she likes him, she's trying to help him out, she's giving him lots of chances, but it's every time she gives this guy a chance to prove that he is an alpha and he believes like he deserves to be around her, he does the opposite. She continues, she says, "The guy had every reason to be confident in himself, so act like it, for God's sake. As that hot and successful woman, I'm here to say that your advice is 100% accurate, and you couldn't get any better validation than that. Well, except for the 'let's play hide the salami' word track, LOL. I would be like, really? Haha, I had to bust your balls a little." So everybody's watching this. The fact that she's bringing up "let's play hide the salami" and she's talking about my balls, what do you think's really on her mind? "Oh, brother, he just texted me. Watch the videos, homeboy." This is like the prime example of what I talk about in the book, is that attraction's not a choice. Women either like you or they don't. They either find you attractive enough to give you a shot or they don't. This particular case, there's a mutual attraction. The guy takes some action to make something happen. And then because of how he perceives himself, he's constantly acting weak and doing things that communicate that he doesn't feel worthy to be with her. And after a while, I mean, we want somebody that's an equal teammate. I mean, we've all met people in our lives who are very insecure, who are very weak, and tend to put up with being talked down to, made fun of, and they constantly communicate that they don't really think they have much to offer. And eventually, you just don't want to hang out with that person, because eventually you start to question yourself and you start to think that maybe there's something wrong with you. It's like I talk a lot about dating somebody, having the kinds of friends or even business partners for that matter, where you share the same goals and you share the same values. I was just having lunch with a really good friend of mine. He was also a very successful, high-achieving guy. And we were talking about that. It's, not only is it hard to find other women of the opposite sex, obviously, to date that are kind of on the same level of success and they have the same belief in themselves. In other words, when they decide they want to do something, they just go off and find a way to make it happen. But the average person, they're coming up with excuses. I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to sell my car, I got to make some money, I got to get my tennis elbow fixed. There's always some excuse that gets in the way. And the same thing goes for guy friends to hang out with. It's just not a lot of people that think the same way. And so remember, you're going to become exactly like the 5 people who you're going to spend most of your time with. And that includes who you date in your relationships and who your friendships are, as well as the people you potentially go into business to or work around. Because if you're surrounded by people that don't have the same high standards and don't have the same goals and outcomes and aren't trying to be their best like you are, eventually their attitude, their mindset, their belief system, it's going to weigh on you. Example is, if you like to work out and eat healthy and you date somebody who's very beautiful and attractive, and they just have a naturally good body, but they don't want to go to the gym, they don't want to work out, they don't want to take care of themselves. And as they get older, they start gaining a little bit of weight, have a few kids, and eventually the body that they once had is not there. And like when you want to go to the gym, it's kind of like, oh, honey, let's just stay in bed. Let's order some takeout. And they just kind of eventually bring you down to their level. And then before you know it, 6 months, a year have gone by, and you haven't been in the gym. Now your pants aren't fitting anymore. You've gained a little bit of weight. It just happens slowly over time. So the important thing is you really have to be careful about who you let into your inner circle. Because the idea is you want to hang out with people better than you, smarter than you, more successful than you. And just like Warren Buffett says, when you do that, you're typically going to gravitate into their direction. Definitely something to think about. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book whatever coaching option works for you. And if you haven't read the book yet, you can actually read it for free by going to my website, subscribing to the email newsletter, or you can also get the audio version for free by doing an Audible free trial. And I will talk to you soon.